On mainstream radio in 2015 and some parts of 2016, I suppose, Fetty Wap was greeting people 3 times in rapid succession with "Hey, what's up, hello." But I'm not going to greet you like that. I'll greet you like this. Hi, folks, this is Noah here with another radio demonstration. I would say that this is a vintage electronics demonstration, but, calling this a vintage electronic is a little far-fetched. It isn't new, but it's definitely not vintage. So, are you ready to see what I have for you here? Yes, you are? Good. Dig this radio goodness. That is the Radio Shack DX-392, which is a rebadged Sangean ATS-818ACS, which is the cassette version of the Sangean ATS-818, which was also sold as a Radio Shack DX-390. Sangean made the ATS-818ACS, which is this, from 1997 about to 2006. Though the rebadged Radio Shack version, I believe, was only sold from 97 to 2003. Possibly 2004, but I'm banking on 2003. Which is why I said calling this vintage is a little far-fetched. Well, now that I've clouded your mind with that information, I'll go ahead and give you an overview of the layout of the radio. Here you have the front of the radio with the tape deck and all of its glory. Look at that. Look at that. That's great stuff. You have your tape deck buttons on top here and a whole bunch of print that you can see, but I can't. You have your LCD display, a crap ton of buttons for radio mode selection, that is AM or FM or shortwave or longwave, and you have your numbers here for direct frequency entry and other things. You have buttons for the clock and stuff. You have your single sideband or AM selection. You have your narrowband, wideband selection for AM and single sideband, and you have your FM mono and FM stereo switch for if you want to listen to stereo FM when you have headphones plugged in, or record stereo FM when you have headphones plugged in. You have your speaker, and you have 3 knobs down here. One is for tone, one is for your BFO, for your single sideband, and the other I cannot remember right now, so it's obviously not that useful. You have this side of the radio with your DC input, 6 volts, 2 3.5mm mini jacks. One is for an external antenna, which only works on shortwave, sadly, and the other is for stereo headphones. You have switches for chrome tape or normal tape selection for the tape recorder on this unit. You have the back, which has a neat little stand here, so you can sit the radio at an angle for easier viewing of the LCD display or just easier operation. You also have the battery compartment on the back. This battery compartment is clean, no corrosion. You have 2 pull ribbons to pull out your 4D batteries and your 3 AA's. Your 4Ds are for general powering of the unit, and your 3 AA's are for backup of the clock and other things that need to be backed up. Then you have the right side of the radio, which has your tuning knob, which is digital. It's not a potentiometer. You probably already knew that since you can directly enter in a frequency. It's not going to be digital. It never stops since it doesn't have a potentiometer. You have your volume knob, which is analog. You have your key lock switch. You can set it to completely off to lock the tuning knob or lock everything. And you have some switch that has to do with some timer function, I believe. Yes, bereave. Now that I gave you an overview of the layout of the radio, first I'll overview the cassette deck. We will see how it records music. good AC bias recording. Recording my voice with the tape deck of the Radio Shack DX-392. Well, it's not a tape deck. So it's a pretty high quality recorder. It is an AC bias recorder, as previously stated. The only downside is the erase head is not electronic. It is a magnet. But I'm not going to complain. They could have thrown a DC bias deck in here. Probably would have made it cheaper, but I'm glad that they didn't. Because I love AC bias recording because it's higher quality and all that jazz.
Well, I guess it is.
Here's something interesting. I don't know if this effect is due to age or if it's always been like this with this particular one. But when you're using review, well, Q, which is fast forward, or review, and you let go, that happens. It just stops. So I have to fool around with the play button to get it to work.
Let's see how it behaves.
Sometimes it's a lot harder than
on
others.
this particular tape.
This does have full auto stop, so it stops at the end of playing and recording, as well as rewinding and fast forwarding. Like this. Beautiful. So it's not the cheapest tape deck in the world that they put in here. It is a simple Chinese transport mechanism. But they could have opted for something cheaper, but they didn't, and so that is that. Now that we've demonstrated the tape deck, let us demonstrate the radio. Look at how long the antenna is. Ooh, big boy antenna. I say that this is about 2 feet. That's a long telescopic antenna. We will sit the radio at an angle for easier operation. It's on AM right now, but we'll turn it to FM. I don't want to get harassed by the copyright mafia. Obviously, everyone would rather go to my videos of radio demonstrations to listen to a couple of seconds of a song. They'd rather do that than buy the song. You could even download the song illegally. Use a YouTube to MP3 converter to actually pull the actual song from the actual video to actually get on your actual MP3 actual device. Actual. Seeing how this is it's not the earliest portable digital radio, but it is an earlier model of a portable digital radio. Selectivity on FM isn't the greatest. I will demonstrate by going to 99.5. You can hear the music as well as interference from 99.7. Now, if you move your antenna or the radio, you can make it better, as you can hear, but most modern digital radios that are made today that do not suck will just block out that interference completely. Let's put big boy antenna down and I'll show you what AM sounds like. This is on wideband. So it's not as good as it could possibly sound, but it isn't too bad. This is how it sounds on narrowband. Just awful. This is single sideband on AM. That's fun. That's only for shortwave stations that are transmitting in single sideband. Unfortunately, this radio doesn't have the capability to select to select upper sideband or lower sideband, but I'm not going to complain because at least I can record shortwave stations and other radio stations with this radio, which I can also do with my Sharp WQ267Z boombox, but this one has more frequency coverage and bandwidth narrowing choices and single sideband, so that is A-OK with me. And I'm not going to try to find a shortwave station to demonstrate that capability. You're just going to take my word that it works, right? You are awesome. Well, that ends this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a really sweet radio. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.